the country as a whole is free today because of those brave actions that we took. The world could see that something is going on somewhere. It's like standing in front of a tank and expecting it not to run you down.
The right to be treated as a human being. That's all. We do not want anything else. We do not want the money. We do not want anything else. We do not want to live in Durban North. We wanted to be treated like human beings. That's all. The right to universal suffrage, that is the right to vote. The right for you to go to any beach and not be challenged.
It was just the injustice, the inequalities. I mean, they're in your face. They're in your face. So I can't put it down to one thing, but I mean, every time something happened, and whether it's arresting people, whether it's imprisoning people, whether it's whatever harsh reaction would just strengthen your resolve. And I never for one moment didn't believe that it was evil and it was wrong.
We advocated for the boycott of, there's a book, I forgot the name, when we were in Form 2. The book, it was written that Africans were kafirs and so on. It was written in Afrikaans. We told the principal that if you don't bend this book, there's not going to be classes. And then the police, the principal took the issue to the Department of Education, and then the book was disallowed at school.
So they wanted the black students, to learn in Afrikaans each and every study. From maths, Afrikaans, whatever, it's going to be Afrikaans. So the students said, no ways, we can't take that. If it's going to be like that, then we're going on strike. Then all the children come out of the road, on the road, they were striking.
One of the things that we did, we knew that the special branch police, for example, were bugging our classrooms, especially the classrooms of history teachers. And so I had to say to my students, and especially in the 70s and 80s, and students were very highly politically aware at that time, and they would question me as to why they had to learn the history that that I presented to them. And I indicated that if they wanted to pass the examination at the end of the year, that was what was required of them. But we made a deal that because we suspected that some of our classrooms were bugged, that we would, one day a week, we would have a history lesson under the trees outside, where we would talk about the real history of our country. And so I would engage with the students outside under the trees, and we would talk about the real history, the heroes, and the struggles of our country under the trees.
We just had to have individuals making sacrifices. It wasn't difficult for me to make. It wasn't difficult at all. It was so logical for me to do. And there were hundreds of thousands of others who saw the logic in being part of the liberation struggle. And don't be deceived to believe that those who remained behind and fought the struggle from within the trade union movement, within youth organizations, within some of the churches and religious groups that existed, don't be deceived to believe that they didn't do enough. Apartheid was crushed because the people of South Africa from all angles came together to make it not work.
I think it's very important for young South Africans to continue to remain active in realizing that dream to understand what is it that our struggle was all about. To understand that at this stage we haven't really achieved everything that we set out to achieve. We don't see equality around us. We still see a lot of unemployment. We still see a lot of differences between those who are very rich and those who are poor.
But if each individual person does the right thing, eventually the individuals become the majority. And the majority can then change what happens in the world and in that society. So talking to people that you meet to influence their way of thinking also helps bring change.
I think the main thing is not to feel that your voice, your participation and your contribution doesn't matter. That you should feel that ultimately every bit of pressure, every bit of activism adds up, and actually even if you don't see the results immediately, they will eventually come if you persevere and if you continue to believe that you can make a difference.
You've got what you've got today, or you got thus far today because of people like myself and others' struggles, right? The fact that you can sit here today and interview us, I'm very proud of that, because this is a result of our struggles as students, that you can today sit and interview us on our history. We didn't have this history. It was illegal at the time. It was illegal to have this type of discussions about politics and people's involvement, you see. So this in itself is the result of our struggle.